Hello, my name is Danielle Simpson, and the controversial topic that I will be discussing today is veganism. So, background and some common beliefs. Veganism is a lifestyle devoted to the abstinence of animal products. This is not limited to food products, but the clothing that we wear and the items that we use on a daily basis. So there are moral, ethical, health, and social controversies regarding veganism. The moral and ethical arguments are going to be whether or not it's right to use animal products and harm animals. The health will be the controversy between the lack of animal products in our diet versus the health benefits. And the social controversies will be the environment and how it affects our planet. Our society is conditioned to believe that meat and animal products are a staple and necessity in our diets. So the first opposing argument is that human beings were designed to eat meat. In Jeffrey Kluger's Time magazine article, Sorry Vegans, Here's How Meat Eating Made Us Human, he uses scientific research in order to prove his thesis that human beings have advanced in the last 2.6 million years because they began consuming meat. He did a study that compared the chewing of vegetables to the chewing of meat, and because our brain is such a nutritionally demanding organ, it provides more calories and fat with less effort than consuming vegetables. And so this was part of the evolutionary forward leap in the development of our brains as human beings. So his argument was that human beings would not be an advanced species today if it were not for the introduction of meat in our diet. The second opposing argument is that a vegan diet does not provide enough vitamins and nutrients. So this in particular would be focused on vitamin B12 because meat products, especially red meat, contain a high source of vitamin B12, which is essential for our neurological functioning as human beings. And the other argument would be that the vegan diet does not provide enough protein. And then to counter those arguments, I introduced some sources of vitamin B12, some natural sources. There are a lot of products such as vitamins and almond milk that are fortified with vitamin B12. Nutritional yeast is a common vegan or vegetarian product that is used in cooking, and it is a very high source of vitamin B. And then as far as protein, the counter argument would be other sources of food that carry protein, such as nuts and beans and seeds. So the first pro-vegan argument would be, it talks about the health. So if the diet is structured according to healthy nutrition guidelines, it can provide enough vitamins and nutrients. So if we are getting the balance of food, nutrients such as protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats, then it's actually going to be beneficial. There are actually benefits to a diet without animal products, such as leaner body composition, lower blood pressure, and less anxiety. In a Journal of Nutritional Neuroscience, vegans report less stress and anxiety than omnivores. Bonnie Beeshold explores the relationships between health and diet. Her studies show that veganism is linked to lower blood pressure and reducing the risk of heart disease. Vegans generally have an overall lower body weight and composition, and they also reported less stress and anxiety than those who consumed meat. The next argument for veganism is the ethical side of the controversy, which argues that it is morally wrong to inflict harm upon animals. Humans and animals are alike in that they experience pain and suffering. In an article of Harper Perennial, Animal Liberation, the definitive classic of the animal movement, Peter Singer states that veganism is regarded as the most mature and post-conventional ethical stage that aims at extending the notion of social justice to non-human animals. So this approach supports the ideology that humans and animals are alike, and it regards veganism as showing compassion for all living things with a central nervous system. Moving forward to that, inflicting harm upon animals in order for human consumption and human use lacks empathy. It also focuses on the methods of farming, such as factory farming and the treatment of animals in these farms. In a Society and Animals Journal article, Framing Animal Rights in the Go Veg Campaign of U.S. Animal Rights Organizations, Carrie Packwood Freeman finds that food animals are not protected from inhumane treatment under the Federal Animal Welfare Act. So this means that the housing conditions and the living conditions of the factory farm animals are not designed for their comfort and their livelihood, but only for methods of production and business. I also conducted an interview with a local farmer, and we discussed the difference between small-scale farming and industrial farming, and basically the main difference is going to be the living conditions. For all of the animals, the ultimate destination is going to be the slaughterhouse, whether they start at the dairy or are used as layers or not. At some point, they reach that point where they're going to be auctioned off for slaughter. The next argument for pro-vegan is going to be the social argument. So that focuses on the environment and how a plant-based diet could save our planet. Factory farming releases harmful gases, while agribusiness takes up 45% of our Earth's land. So if we look at the chart here, it has the annual greenhouse gas emissions by sector. And if we look at the agriculture byproducts, it's going to be 12.5%. And these are the gases that it releases: the carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, which are harming our planet. It also focuses on the amount of water that agribusiness uses in order to supply the farm animals with enough food. So my perspective is that it is important to educate ourselves about the food we consume. It is necessary to establish a healthy relationship with food. And different diets work for different people, but as an individual, we have the power to make a difference. So even if we can't convert completely to a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle, we can cut back on the consumption of meat and introduce more plant-based foods in our diet, not only for our individual health, but for society and the environment as a whole. I love this quote: "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food," from Hippocrates. So the conclusion would be that society needs to restructure the way we produce and manufacture food. We can all make changes to reduce the amount of animal products that we consume. Whether it be cutting back on the amount of fast food or buying more organic animal products, products that are local farmed rather than factory farmed, products that don't contain steroids or hormones, they're antibiotic free. Those are all going to help as far as individual benefits. And then introducing more plants into our diet is also going to help for individual benefits. And if we're looking to convert completely to a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle, there are a lot of ways that we can educate ourselves. They have forums and blogs. Just learning more about the food that we eat is going to help ourselves and our families and society as a whole.